There has to be some degree of confidentiality, and in the process of bringing a proposal to you, if we announce every step of the way, everything that we're doing, we could compromise some of the savings that we were expected to gain from this. For example, land acquisition. If it was made apparent and everybody knew that we were trying to buy land for a police station, then sometimes the value of that land skyrockets, doubles, sometimes triples. So we had to play that a little close to the vest. But I think I'm here before you tonight with, again, a proposal that you are more than welcome to say no to. And all I'm doing is announcing to you all and to the community that at the next mid-month meeting, we will be bringing to you a resolution. And then you will have whatever time you need until you vote on it. So that's all I wanted to say. And I've got some basic information. That's my goal here tonight, is to share information with you. Councilor Giles and Councilor Jones may not be as familiar with this as the others because, as I said, they were not present for the individual meetings. But I do applaud both of them because they were both at the press conference today where we announced our intention to make this proposal. So if I'm okay, I don't want to upset anybody, but I'll be happy to just for not only those in attendance here tonight, for you all, but all those who may be viewing at home or see it on YouTube later.
If you have the floor.
Just what is it that we're talking about?
You have the floor.
So with that said, and this is not a big presentation, it's just kind of some facts about what is it that everybody's talking about here. And the basic, my opinion and that of the police department is that we are in need of a police station. In 2009, going back, structural deficiencies at the prior facility caused us to temporarily move into this beautiful government center. Previous police station was flooding, and as many of you know, we kind of hastily moved in here under rushed situations. We actually displaced some of the other township offices that were here. So we are in need, our officers are in need of a facility that is designed and intended to be a police operation. A new police station will allow our police department to serve the community in the most effective, efficient, community-oriented manner. You're going to hear that word a lot, community. I hope nobody snickers at that. A new police station will provide a safer, more secure environment for our law enforcement officers and the public. What we're looking at after analyzing many sites, and we can get into all the questions of why this site, but we're looking at a parcel of land on North Post Road that is in dire need of redevelopment. It's the 5100 block, specifically 5150 North Post Road. It's an ideal location from a law enforcement perspective because it's a lot closer to where our police runs originate and will hopefully reduce some of our response times. The development of a police station in this site will not only improve my ability and my officers and detectives' ability to fight crime, but will hopefully lead to economic redevelopment in that area. So you mentioned the total cost of the land purchase, the development, constructions, furnishings. We were kind of saying between 12 and 14 million because we don't have any hard, fast numbers. We don't know the exact cost of materials and labor. Some unknowns, of course, our project, massive project this size. But it will result in almost a 37,000 square foot, two-story police station with a fully equipped basement, a sally port, a 2,000 square foot detached police vehicle storage garage. That's where we can keep our motorcycles, our SWAT vehicle, roughly 150 parking spaces and a secure lot for officers. And on the front side of that, maybe 50 spots or so for the community, for the public. Not to mention a 112 person community room, which can be doubled as a training room for officers, and an exterior training track, a running track, which will be available to the public in that neighborhood. A lot of people say, wow, that's a ton of money. I can't even wrap my head around $12.9 million or between 12 and 14. Can we afford it? Well, the short answer is yes. The city will not have to seek a tax increase to fund this new police station. The city will be able to fund the new police station within the existing tax rate, and funding that will be used for the police station does not impact the control tax levy. Now, these are very complicated terms and thoughts that Controller Fenwick can really expand upon in depth. This is not that deep of a presentation tonight. This is just general information. For the project, the city is going to enter into a contract to build a new police station for a fixed price. And this is going to eliminate the city's risk of cost overruns or unanticipated costs at the end. So finally, the police station is going to allow for a consolidation of city services in a thoughtful way. Most importantly, the 911 Communications Center, which is currently in a separate facility, will be combined with the police operations in the new station. It just makes sense. The proposal also includes funding improvements to create really a one-stop shop here in this building, bring the utilities back in, so when the police move out, utilities can come back in. So we have utilities, DPW, mayor's office. This will be the one place of Lawrence government. This will allow residents to come here for all of their non-police needs. And of course, any police-related activity will go on at 5150. So why the need? We really didn't have space when we moved in here, and we don't have space now. It's only gotten worse. We have one small interview room with thin walls, and because it wasn't designed to be an interview room, it isn't really equipped, and it's not laid out the way we would like it to be, the way most police departments are set. In fact, an example, a suspect may have to walk right past the same recording devices that are going to be used to video and audio record that suspect, which could put them, may close the doors, right? We have definitely outgrown this temporary location. Our property room, where evidence is stored, is becoming smaller and smaller every day. We're doing our best to purge evidence that's not needed in courtroom testimony or any civil suits, but some stuff we just have to hang on to for a really long time, and it just keeps coming in quicker than it's going out. So we have inadequate space for storing equipment, radios, uniforms, canine supplies. We have no storage space whatsoever for our Honor Guard, Crime Watch supplies, or our partners at the FOP. We're constantly borrowing space. Our 911 center, as I mentioned, is located in a different facility that's also really inadequate. We're always making upgrades to that. And that's kind of important to note because we are in the 12th largest city in the United States. We are a backup location for fire, police, and EMS dispatching. So if something happens in Indianapolis, tornado, terrorist threat, it's us. It's us for a while, at least, until they get up on their feet. So I just can't overstate the value of having our 911 center in a secure underground location. And yesterday's tornadoes in Muncie are probably the nearest, closest thing you can think of why we need to have our 911 underground in a safe place. The mayor mentioned earlier today that the department has been making do with the situation for a long time, and over the past year, we conducted a feasibility study, gathered input from officers, and evaluated best practices and national standards, and we're trying to bring them to Lawrence in the form of a modern police station that's not some Taj Mahal. We're not trying to build a Carmel police station or LAPD or all this fancy stuff. We just want basic needs for our police department. As a result, we're going to make this proposal in the form of a resolution at the next mid-month council meeting, and we're just making that announcement tonight. So this is going to be a location to not only for our officers to kind of call home as a place to work, but also as a place to interact with the members of the community that we serve. The proposed station will be safer and more secure for officers and the public. And really think back to last summer when IMPD's police headquarters got shot up on the Northwest District and the North District, and it happened again this summer on the North District with IMPD. The need for a safe place for officers and civilians to work, it can't be argued. It's not some war movie. This is real life stuff. So the proposed station will provide us with the space we need. It'll give us a workspace that's flexible and expandable. We're not building it necessarily for 2017's needs. We're thinking about 2037. And what's the city and what's this police department going to look like then? It's my goal right now that as we design this, we're not moving in on day one, already anticipating having to move out in 20 years. We want it to grow with our community. I'm soon to wrap up, so please bear with me. Like most police stations, we're finally going to have a dedicated roll call room, multiple interview rooms for suspect interrogations, a room for arrestees who are under the influence of drug or alcohol that sometimes they regurgitate, sometimes they defecate, and the way we're set up now, that's in the same room where officers eat their lunch. We will have a dedicated office for command staff personnel, supervisors, detectives, and our awesome community prosecutor. And for the training officer, imagine how difficult it is to schedule training for an agency our size and be located off-site, which is what we're doing right now. We'll have an evidence property room with much more capacity, designated spaces for particularly sensitive items, such as evidence regarding firearms, drugs, electronics, and unfortunately, homicide. Now, homicide evidence must be kept forever. It doesn't go away. It's one way in and no way out. And I'll tell you, just knock on wood, we're not really affected too much right now in the city of Lawrence. And hopefully that trend continues because of the great crime fighting efforts we have. We're going to have storage space and office space for professional standards, internal affairs, the honor guard, the FOP. We have more than 50 police explorers, young men and women ages 14 to 21, and their advisors. So they need space too, and we just don't have space for them right now. Some of our explorer training occurs at an off-site business in Castleton because we just don't have room for them. This will definitely change that. So a building that is designed specifically for police functions will ease communications, collaboration between the divisions within the department, improve the security during the transfer of prisoners from police cars to paddy wagons to interview rooms. We're going to increase access to the public and promote community engagement with this building. We're going to safeguard confidentiality and privacy during interactions between the police and citizens that we serve. A lot of times we've got our front desk here in the building. People come in to report crimes and somebody could be standing in line behind them. And so we want to kind of dial down on that and make it a modern police facility. I mentioned the outdoor running track. This building will also have a fitness room for our officers, locker rooms, some showers, so that they can have the equipment to maintain the physical fitness and readiness for the jobs that they do. The mayor mentioned the transformative nature of this proposed location on Post Road. I couldn't agree more. In your packets, I believe there's some photographs of what it looks like now. It's just an ugly little stretch of Post Road that thousands of people, not only internally, not only Lawrence residents, but people from outside our community drive by that site, and they make their judgments on what kind of community is this based on that. I would love to bulldoze all that and put up a beautiful facility that I think you have pictures of. I've already spoken to some of the property managers and residents in that area, and it won't come as any shock to you, it shouldn't, that not only are they supportive, but they're actually excited about having police officers in the neighborhood as next door neighbors. In closing, I just want to reiterate how important this resolution is going to be next Wednesday. I know you all. You're going to give it your due diligence. If you need more time, take more time. But tonight is just my announcement that we intend to give you the resolution. And I and my command staff, and I know the administration, we are willing and we can't wait to answer all of your very specific questions. It's no one's intent to rush you through this process. So the building, getting back to a couple other points, and then I'll wrap up here in about 30 seconds. The building is going to enhance my ability and my department's ability to really embrace and enhance the community policing model that we strive for every day. It's going to balance an open, community, welcoming feel that we want, but also make us resilient to some crackpot with a rifle that wants to put rounds into our officers or the building where they work. You'll notice in some of the plans, I think I've discussed with you individually, that the operations section of the building is kind of on the back side, and that was by design. So most importantly, this is going to provide safety to those who provide safety for the citizens in Lawrence. And it's just going to equip our officers and staff with finally the resources that they need to continue to serve the public in the most honorable and professional way. And I'll just close by saying that I will humbly seek your approval for this in a respectful manner, and I hope you're with us. Again, it's you all have a great responsibility of balancing the needs of your constituents, the wants and desires of your constituents. You have to, President Williams, you told me the other day, it's about priorities and what do your constituents consider a priority in this city. So that's for you all to decide. All I can do is bring you this proposal. I wanted it to be as thorough and well thought out as possible so that I would be able to answer all your questions. I could have come before you in July of this year, or maybe even May, or earlier in the year, and I wouldn't have been able to answer anything. We didn't know where it was going to be, what it was going to look like, how many square foot, we didn't know anything. We've been chipping away at this all summer long. So I would have been totally ill-equipped to come to you with any kind of meaningful information. And I think we're to the point now, we don't know the answers to all the questions. Councilor Chavis asked some great questions about the ongoing maintenance. Once they hand the keys over to us, how are we going to afford to pay for it? This is a big building that requires heating and air conditioning and water and mowing the grass and maintenance. And so we're looking into that, by the way. I've got some numbers for you soon. So I don't have every answer for you right now, certainly, but we're much closer now. So I apologize if anybody sitting before me, sitting behind me, or sitting at home feels left out. Not the intention. But in order for me to bring you this product, we had to kind of follow this process along the way.